It's Matt. We're back, another episode of MPTV, and we've got a sweet one for you today. And if you recall, about 6 months ago, we were in San Diego with my man, Chef Santiago, at Donut Bar San Diego. But today, we're home. We're in Northern Kentucky. If you're watching this, if you're listening to it, you got to trust me. But I've got a giant box of amazing donuts in front of me. And if I hold them, they'll fall. But I'm sure you can see those on the camera. If not, we'll show some B-roll to you. But I got these donuts because I saw a Facebook post about a month ago that was shown to me by a member of our CrossFit gym who had donuts delivered to him, and it got me to reach out because the guy's doing something badass. I wanted to have him in. Ryan, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So while I eat a donut that has orange sprinkles on it, tell us who you are and about the business.
Well, we're Peace, Love, and Little Donuts. I mean, what we do is we try to make a hot, fresh donut for everybody that walks in the store. I mean, that's our biggest thing is we don't want day-old donuts. We don't want donuts sitting on the shelf since 4 o'clock in the morning. We're going to truly put a fresh product in front of your face. We have 72 different kinds of flavors and toppings to make a donut. And when you come in, it's a line. You pick your toppings, put it on the donut, and you can get 36. We do weddings. We do live donut bars. We do it all. So we try to and customize. Like today, you'll see what the donuts we've done for you is to America's Best Restaurant Donuts, and try to have a little fun with it and show that we can step outside the box and do something exciting.
Dude, I've got them all. We've got the MP donut. We've got so somebody pays attention because they know I got a bunch of orange Nikes. I got the orange Nike symbol. We got the ABR donut. What is your background then? We'll get into the story of how I found you and what got you into the studio, because it's a cool story for, I talk about blue ocean marketing tactics. You're doing what restaurants need to do to not just survive but thrive.
Correct. But
you're not a donut veteran.
Not at all. I've never been in the food industry at all. This is 7 months into it. It's brand new. I was in optics for 21 years. Branched out. I had a few Pearl Visions, and I did a franchise with me and an optometrist. And, it was fun while it lasted. It just wasn't a passion of mine. It just was, we made some money, had some fun doing it, gave some jobs. But looking at this, I said, this is exciting. It's something different. It's something new. But I tell you, with the background of Pearl Vision and when we franchised, there's so many different kinds of optical places that go online. So there's a lot of different brands and different, outlets you had to market against.
Yeah.
So it was hard trying to figure out how to market optics because it isn't exciting. It truly isn't. But you got to make it exciting. Yeah. And then trying to take some of them learnings into the restaurant business is like, okay, this is a little easier.
Yeah.
People like the food. People like the donuts.
People love it.
And now I just got to push them, which I pushed optics before. So I think with these, getting a good product and getting out there is very important. And the best marketing you can do is putting the donuts in people's hands. That's it.
Oh, hell yeah. You got me addicted. Like, after seeing these, I don't know what this is. It looks like.
You're going to laugh. That's called a Snick Jagger.
Is that like Snickers and chocolate and caramel?
Snickers and chocolate and caramel. We also make a Reese cup as well as the same one, Reese's.
Dude.
It's fantastic.
Max, you're getting screwed working behind the cameras.
Well, we like normally we'll customize for weddings and anything else we need to do, and bar mitzvahs. We do all kinds of crazy stuff. But like I said, these party boxes that you're seeing here is really pretty when you open it up. When you look at weddings, and we put 36 different kind of donuts in there. It's really outstanding.
That's badass. And how I met you is near and dear to me because I'm a marketer. I mean, you obviously probably saw an orange car out there, and we got orange vans, and everything we do kind of sticks out. Because at the end of the day, money follows attention. The more attention Matt Plapp gets for me, for ABR, for our clients, we win. Yep. I found you because I walk in the gym, like today, 3:45, I'll leave here. I'll go to CrossFit the Tracks in Erlanger. And you're walking there to try and work off the donuts. And I walk in, and there's Nina Bailey with this giant box of donuts. I'm like, what is this? She's like, oh, you're going to love this. I'm like, why? She's like, because this is down your alley, because they all know what I do and who I am. Because, I don't let people forget it. And so she shows me the Facebook post, and I said, "What is this?" She's like, the restaurant made a post. Hey, Ryan's going to be in Erlanger. Who wants free donuts? And she commented, and then you showed up and handed them to Aaron, and Aaron gets a selfie, I think, with you and the donuts or something. And I'm like, wow, that's what it's all about, because so many businesses think that you open up shop and you put something cool on the street and people enjoy it, that they're just going to flock. And that happens sometimes to an extent. But getting out in the community, because, hell, oddly enough, the people at gyms are there working out hardcore in their 40s so they can eat this stuff more often.
Correct.
And so you got out of your comfort zone, you got out of your chair, you got out of your office, and you went in the community. Talk to me about what you guys do like that and why you do it.
I think, well, number one, it's exciting. I like people. I like telling a story. So I think these donuts tell a story. And not only that, I said going out to different areas. I mean, during that text, that post that you've seen, I went to some areas that probably people, I would say, couldn't afford the donuts.
Okay.
That didn't have cars or nothing. I dropped them off in the smiling faces. That means the world to me.
Hell yeah.
That and kids. And I tell you, that's another thing, is kids walk in the shop. It's like Disney World to them. You know, they get to see a hot, fresh donut when they come in. I give everybody a hot, fresh donut when they come in. It's fantastic. But we did that post because I think the biggest thing for me is we can buy papers. You know, we can do all kinds of stuff, but we cannot. The best thing is putting these donuts in people's hands, right? So that's the best marketing. So if I can put these donuts in as many people's hands as I can, I'm going to do that. And I think people say, well, I don't spend a lot of money doing this and that. This is what you need to do: is get out there and get them in their hands. Free donuts, have fun with the city and different kind of stuff. And we're hoping to open a second location over near Erlanger. So
that's a gold mine. That's awesome. And was that something that the franchise told you to do, or is that something you just did on your own? Or
it's not. It's funny you ask. So Ron Rossetti, he opened up the brand. I think it was about 13 years ago, and as soon as he saw that post and all the likes and all the comments, he said, "That's genius."
That wasn't them. That was just you.
No, he said, "I've never done it before in my entire life." He goes, "We're going to make this now. It's going to be called Run Somebody Ragged."
Yep.
And that's going to be, so now he wants to adopt that and try to get the other franchisees to do the same kind of thing. And I think, it's the background, like I said, with the Pearl Vision Optics, we had to work really hard for marketing. This is fun because you don't have to work as hard because the product sells itself.
Well, let me give you the cheat code to this. So this is what Matt Plapp did. I won't mention the brand, but I sold radio advertising. And in 2000, a national brand, donuts, came to Cincinnati real big, Northern Kentucky. And I met the guy that was the regional director, and they didn't have a huge footprint here. And he said, hey, we don't have any advertising money, but we want to be on WGR, Q102. What can we do? And I was the king of trade. And I also was the king of, I knew that, everybody stops in and sells advertising. I wanted to be different. So I said, here's what I want to do. I want you to trade me 10 dozen donuts a day, 2 days a week. And I'll get you the trade on the radio stations, but you give me certificates, let me go by the stores. I'm going to take donuts to my clients. And so every morning at 8 o'clock, like Tuesday and Thursdays, I want to say I did it, for probably 6 months, every Tuesday and Thursday, like 8 to 10 o'clock, I'd stop by, I'd get 10 dozen donuts, and I would pick 10 clients. And it got to a point where he told me 6 months in, he's like, Matt, the people that you're dropping these off are coming here, because I'm going to car dealers, I'm going to people, and I'm talking to the gatekeeper. Because, some of the car dealers I dealt with, especially being a brand new radio rep back then, I talked to this little pimpled kid that didn't know what the hell he was talking about advertising. I eventually got into them, eventually became clients. But the gatekeeper, when you brought her donuts and you came back the next week to see if XYZ was there, like, hey, he'll be here 11 to 2 today. I'll make sure you get the same. I was the donut guy.
That's awesome.
And so I did that. It was kind of comical. About 6 months in, our sales manager comes to me, Kim, and she's like, hey, explain again what you're doing with these donuts. She's like, because I'm hearing about it from clients. I'm hearing about it from everywhere. And I told her. And she's like, can you talk to that guy and get all of our reps? And so literally within about, I think it was a month after that, we had like 20 reps from the radio stations that were required. And,
oh, my God.
And oddly enough, about half of them bitched about it. I got to take donuts to my clients. I'm like, you realize your goal is to be in the relationship business and to have an impact. But that helped. And so we literally helped that brand here by 15, 20 sales reps for WGR and Q102, dropping donuts off twice a week to clients.
Huge.
And on the top of every one, I made sure, I said, hey, I want you to have whatever sales pitch you want. And we had a flyer taped to the top, and I'd let them know, hey, these are compliments of this donut shop. Do whatever you can to support them. And the guy told me, he's like, Matt, it was every time you drop donuts off, these car dealers, these chiropractors, these businesses order. And they order for the next day, like, hey, can we get 10 dozen tomorrow?
Oh, that's awesome. That's exactly what we try to do.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I mean, get the marketing out of it,
Yeah.
and then the other gentleman gets his piece. That's fantastic.
And they got radio advertising because that was their way of getting ads. Because that's this guy, they couldn't afford ads with their footprint.
Sure.
And it was a way for them to get some free no, not free because obviously have a cost, but a low cost advertising in exchange for putting it in somebody's hands. But it's an opportunity. A lot of people don't get outside their four walls.
And that's the problem. You're not, that's what in a restaurant, what you guys obviously know, and I'm learning the first month or two, you're going to be busy. You're new.
Oh, it's your honeymoon.
You're going to be busy.
Yeah.
But what have you done to sustain that growth over the next 6 months, 6 to 12 months? And that's what we're doing. We're trying to really create a footprint. And there's still, we haven't topped 85% of our area. Has no idea who we still are.
I had no, full disclosure, I had no clue. I live in Union, and I had driven down. My wife, when we leave Barleycorns, is impatient, and instead of turning right to go up the hill and go to the stoplight, she turns left, goes down to Pleasant Valley, turns right, and cuts through the road.
Oh, cuts through, yeah.
And I always give her crap. I'm like, this is technically avoiding a traffic signal, and you're giving my son a bad example, and she's a maniac driver. And I saw it, and I'm like, it's a peace-loving little donuts, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I saw it, I'm like, what is that? And I hadn't heard about it. And then the first time I saw him was at the gym.
Yep.
And so I drive by there every day. My office is here. The house is there. And I drive by a lot, and I didn't know it was there. Wouldn't have known it was there without the gym. I mean, it might have taken me 6 more months. And I can tell you right now, we'll be buying donuts. I'm already thinking, like, you gave me a great idea. Like you're talking about, I'm big in the community and giving back.
Oh, yeah.
And you talked about giving these to kids that don't have them. And I could see us loading up the van and coming and buying 20 of these boxes and taking the ABR van and going to hit some people and helping them out.
Well, help us out because we'll help you out. I mean, that's a huge for us. I mean, that's what it's all about. Honestly, is for us is can we give back a little bit while we get a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think it's very important.
So how long have you guys been open now?
So 7 months.
7 months.
Well, it's a little under 7 months, but almost 7 months. Yes.
What's been your biggest aha?
Really, I'd say the biggest aha is learning the hours of the donut business. I mean, is really the operations. What do you do? Because we always think mornings are going to be busy, right? Yeah. People want donuts, coffee. And then we thought, well, the summer's been totally different. Nobody comes in until 9 now.
Oh,
not
wow.
7. So 9 to 1 has been a very busy time for us. So I think learning it is a big aha for us is just to figure out, the ways of the business and where the traffic flow we need to get at certain times. But I think as we go into next year, you'll probably see maybe we take a night and let's go into 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Let's see if we can get some night.
I saw a donut place locally, and I've never been there, but apparently they're open like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah. It's called Moonrise.
Moonrise, yeah, over in Taylor Mill.
Yes, Keith used to own it. It was a good buddy of mine. He was a lawyer for the down in Kenton County forever, and he opened that. He sold it about a year and a half ago to a local guy in Fort Mitchell, and that was his. It was Moonrise.
So it's the party donuts.
Correct. It's so different. So we just kind of wanted to make sure we're getting the after school crowd.
Yeah.
Because we close at 3 most days.
Okay.
And school's ended like 2:30.
Yeah.
45. And it's so we're just trying to see if we can have a little fun. We talked about doing a wine and donut night, ladies' night.
Oh, ladies' night.
Just for fun.
Now, do you have seating in there?
We do not.
Okay.
We have a bar against the wall with some stools, but you have plenty of room to stand to do things. And that's why we're looking at a different location, too, for a second location to maybe have some parties out of kids.
Yeah.
We have do-it-your-own kits now, so you can get 12 or 36 donuts. We give you so many toppings, so many icings. You go take them to birthday parties, and kids can just have a good time doing it. Interactive.
That's awesome.
So just trying to think of different ways to have a lot of fun with a donut to be able to fill everybody's needs.
Are you going to do anything with the local schools? Because you got Cooper near you, you got
Correct.
Ryle, you got Boone County.
We do already. So last year we handed out donuts like crazy to all the high schools.
Okay.
The office staff and all of that. And then when they do call, we give them so much of a discount off for big parties in their classroom. Yeah. So we have a couple teachers that'll come every Friday just to get donuts because we'll give them a deal so they can give them to their classroom and their kids. So we try to do that.
The cheerleaders and I think the band at Ryle High School sell donuts during football games, but they sell a different brand and not as sexy a brand as this. That I think they buy them at a certain price and they turn around and sell them and they use the money to raise money for the programs. But if I was anybody in the bleachers at any game and these came around, there's no way I wouldn't have to buy a 6-pack.
Well, we have some rival cheerleaders that work for us now.
Oh, do you?
They've already been telling me about that.
Okay.
So what's funny is my envision would be really cool because we thought about maybe getting a truck, you know what I mean, and doing some fun stuff at like tailgating at parties and doing donut bars, you know. We're really looking into that because now the schools and going to football games on Friday nights would be a really cool hit to be able to do something like that. And I tell you what we have been doing too that's been really cool is the daycares that are around. We have a lot of daycares. So we always have probably 100 or 200 plain donuts left over. We'll take them to all the daycares. So they give the kids the donuts the next days for lunch and stuff too. So
just don't do what Kramer and Elaine and George and Jerry did in Seinfeld with the top of the muffins. You ever see that episode?
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that. That's hilarious.
They sold the top of the muffin, the bottoms were left, and they went to the homeless shelter, and they're like, we don't want the bottom of the muffins. So they had to bring Newman in to feed him and drink his milk.
It's funny you say that. I went to a swim meet about a month ago in Indianapolis. They sell the top half of a muffin now.
That's the new, it's, where did I see that? First Watch now has a breakfast item that is, from what I can tell, the top of a muffin, like fried on a skillet or something.
Yeah, I was like, that's outstanding.
What's the best part? It's the absolute. But my daughter will go to places and she'll like rip the top off and eat it, and like doesn't mess with the bottom. I feel like she's like murdering somebody every time she does it, but she does it.
But me, I can't waste it, so I have to eat it.
Oh, you gotta eat it. Yeah, I didn't get this non-6 pack from not eating it.
Well, that's me. Staying away from these things are really hard.
Yeah. So, what's been something that you've found that transferred over well from the optometry business? It's a pretty different business.
It is.
But talking to you in this short amount of time on the phone the other day and seeing what I've seen in the community, you're not a spring chicken when it comes to business and marketing and entrepreneurial spirit. What's something that you took from there and just tweaked it for the donut world?
Well, I think, like I said, it goes back to optics. Optics is hard to market, right? And, getting something you're passionate about and excited about, like we are about the donuts, are easy to go out and market. So I think having the roadblocks we had in the optical world, trying to get out there, trying to get our name out there, it's tough. With not a sexy product, like you say. It's not. Glasses, I mean, they're not fun.
Yeah, glasses, yeah.
Nobody wants to come to the eye doctor.
Glasses and dentist.
Correct. So now taking in and having an exciting product and still working that hard to try to market it, it's gotten a lot easier for me. And I think with this business, right now, and I think the second, if you want to talk about the second thing that's translated is employees. I mean, it's a tough time to get people to work. And I think with a fun product like this, the staff, we try to pay them well, and they get tips when people come in when they make donuts, so they do pretty well. And we try to hire the high schools, the local, the kids, just have fun in the community because they're going to be the biggest voice for us when they go to school, when they go to their parties or graduations about what we do.
Yeah, and that's the HR component of the restaurant business. We've been in it for a while from a marketing standpoint, and I've never seen it anywhere close to this. But I also remember before the pandemic, I told a restaurant friend of mine, I said, dude, he asked, he's like, how come you get so many applications? Like today, I've gotten 7. I made a post on Facebook this morning that was pretty clean cut. I have 7 applications already of people that want to work here. And he had asked him, we never have a problem with that. I made a post, and Max's dad, saw the post. Next thing I know, Max is in here. We hire him. And,
that's awesome.
But the reason is we market our business in a fun way.
Correct.
And people want to be involved with something fun, something cool, something hip, something trendy, exciting. And I was telling a guy, this is before the pandemic, I said, man, he's like, man, we do okay with HR, but this, that, and the other. I said, can I be honest? He goes, yeah. I said, if I look on Facebook or Instagram, number one, you're not acting enough on Instagram, but on Facebook, it looks boring as shit. Like, it's just random food pictures. There's nothing fun. There's no employee of the week. There's no lives with an employee having fun. There's nobody saying, hey, Matt, this isn't on the menu, but this is something you love eating here, right? Yeah, and they walk through it. I mean, there's nothing fun like that. And a lot of restaurants are handicapped because, if you're a Hothead Burritos down here, which I know the guys that own the Hotheads are great people, but a high school kid that goes to work, he's just making burritos. What can you do to change it up? And like, you're fortunate that they're not making the same donuts all the time.
Correct.
And they're probably got little concoctions happening back there all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and the one I just had, what'd you call it? The Mick Jagger?
Oh, the Snick Jagger. Yeah.
Snick Jagger.
Yeah,
that is literally one of the best donuts I've ever had in my entire life. Unbelievable. But you've got a fun product. And I mean, I've got 2 kids, 18 and 20, and they like being around exciting stuff and fun. And if you're out in the community and doing what you're doing and how you are here, I can only imagine inside the 4 walls, It's not like walking in and going, get Bud over there and make 400 donuts.
We customers come in all the time and said, "Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could have a reality TV show." We make fun of each other. We'll throw donuts. We'll have a good daggone time with it. And like I said, it's all about having a kid's experience when they come in. And we want to make this shop feel like you're at Disney World.
Yeah,
that's the experience we want to try to create. You know, when you go down to Gatlinburg, what's the first thing you go? You walk down the strip. You see that taffy turning over and over again in the window. It just turns.
How'd you know I saw that? I sat there and watched that for like 2 hours 2 years ago.
Well,
and then we would wait. You'd go in to get a sample of the one they just made.
Correct.
And I remember sitting there was me, my daughter, her boyfriend, and my son, and my wife was off shopping, buying stuff. And I remember thinking, like, we just waited 45 minutes. I could buy a box. But I wanted to eat the one that dude was because they start with this like tan product and then it eventually becomes green and red. But no, you're right.
But so that's what we do. So when you come to our shop, our fryer is not in the back.
It's in front.
It's in the front.
Oh, you might be stuck with me. I might just come and drink coffee there and watch.
Oh, that's a whole. So we develop all kinds of drinks. We call it Funkaccinos.
Yep.
You can't say the other word.
Okay.
Because it's trademarked. But we do Funkaccinos, smoothies, and since we have all them toppings there, what's so cool is you can put anything you want in the daggone, the coffee you want. So, but yeah, as soon as people walk, they see me frying the donuts or see whoever frying the donuts. The donuts are right there in the morning. We take them right out, roll them in cinnamon, give them to little kids and everybody as they walk in. We want everybody to try a hot, fresh donut when they come in.
And see, that's what attracts a younger workforce too. Like, I don't know if you guys are active on Instagram and TikTok and those places or not.
We're trying to get there.
I would highly recommend it because that's what gets those people's attention. You know, my daughter, you jokingly the other night, I made a comment about something I said online, and my daughter's like, Dad, every time I open TikTok up, I see you. You know, I've got TikToks happening all day. We've got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We do it all. That's what we do for a living, but we practice what we preach. But that's also the places people want to be involved with. And when you get a 16-year-old that could work at 100 restaurants, are they going to go make burritos? Are they going to make pizza? Or are they going to make fun donuts? And that's what brings it to it, especially the fact you walk in the front and it's fun. That's a huge element. So one thing, I'll tell you a story about a guy we work with. His name's Rex. He's got a restaurant called Dairy Dream up in New Albany, Indiana. And he's got a cotton candy Mountain Dew drink. And it is the greatest thing you'll ever drink. If you like Mountain Dew, this is like, Jesus brought down Mountain Dew with this. It's unbelievable. So I'm talking to Rex about it. He was on the pod. He's been on the podcast, I think, twice because we went up and shot one at his location. And I was talking about business, and I said, you got a unique story with this cotton candy thing, right? He goes, yeah. I said, it's our number one seller. And it happened because a couple years ago, one of our employees, high school kid, would get a Mountain Dew, and they have snow cones. And he'd get a Mountain Dew, and he'd go, raspberry. Drink it. And instead of yelling at the kid for experimenting with stuff, he said, what's the best one? Man, everybody, like all the employees had started getting cotton candy Mountain Dew, the cotton candy snow cone mix, and the Mountain Dew. And he drank, he's like, this is good. He's only open, he closes in November and he opens back up in end of February. So he's closed for like 3 months. But in the time he's open, he have people that instead of getting their coffee at like Starbucks, they come by his place and get a $3-4 cotton candy Mountain Dew.
That is crazy.
Like you mentioned experiment with drinks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that was wild to see because Rex is like, a lot of times the inclination by a lot of employers might be like, you guys quit screwing around. You're wasting product.
Sure.
And he said, now here is my number one selling product. And he gives the kid a check every year. The kid gets
awesome.
The kid gets a cut, and it's been like 5 years, I think. Gets a check every year for a percentage of every drink sold.
It's like a royalty. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think some of the best minds are the ones that have working for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's we always try to have fun with the donuts. But yeah, that is awesome. I have to go up there and try that. That's fantastic.
So what's next? You said possibly a second location?
Yeah, we're looking at a second location. I meet next week to look at that. I think we're going to get a little bit bigger of a square foot, so we can maybe do some parties, some kids parties, and have a little room and really kind of have a little bit more dining with it. So we're excited to start that. We need a second store because we don't have enough right now for catering. We're killing one fryer, so I need to get the other fryer, set up another store so we can have a lot more outlets to be able to cater, coming up in the Christmas time. So that'll be exciting. We're excited to get that second one open.
Now, do you have a territory that you guys own with the brand, or an area that
we don't? I think we're pretty much the only one in Kentucky right now.
How many are there? I saw on the website there's about 15 states, it looks like.
There's close to 40 right now, currently close to 40. And so we're trying to really do I'd like to set a triangle up, in Northern Kentucky. Yeah. And then if it's possible, maybe look into Cincinnati and, going somewhere in Hamilton or something like that.
You got Hamiltucky. It's us over there.
West Side Hamilton.
Yeah.
Then also, this would work great down the college campus if you go down to UK.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Louisville. Problem is rent is kind of pricey when you go down to them areas. But
maybe you do a food truck and you go to different special events on those campuses.
Exactly. That would be.
You wrap it half and half. You wrap one side Louisville, one side UK. Our vans are half orange, half blue.
That was a great idea.
That way you have a window. You open up whichever side you're on. Louisville sucks. That's why they're behind us. No, UK.
Do a contest. What are we going to sell more out of? That would be fantastic.
Well, cool. I appreciate having you on today.
Thanks for having me on. This is exciting.
I appreciate you coming by, and can't go wrong with donuts. Can't go wrong with orange donuts. MPTV, another episode in the books. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and comment. If you're on Facebook, share and like the page. Whatever you can do to support this message, getting to more entrepreneurs, more restaurant owners, and hell, even more consumers, because we all need to be eating more of these. That's all we got for this episode of MPTV. We'll see you later.